When I was 12, I got bigger than my dad. I was bigger than my dad by 12. And by the time I was 15, I was 6'2", about 280 pounds. I was a pretty big guy, but I never did bully anybody, except for one guy. This one kid, I was a pure asshole to. I was a fucking prick to this one kid, Pudge. Now, Pudge wasn't his real name. Pudge, I didn't give him that name. I don't remember who did. But that was his name. Everybody knew him as Pudge. He had what you might call the Dunlap disease. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Dunlap disease, but it's when your belly Dunlapped your belt. Well, his belly Dunlapped his entire crotch. Now, I didn't have a problem with Pudge because he was fat. I mean, I've had my own struggles with being fat. But my problem with Pudge is he committed the ultimate offense of joining the football team. Now, that was my arrogant self looking at things a certain way, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not saying I was right or making excuses. No, I was totally in the wrong for this shit. Totally. So, he joined the football team. Now, okay, so our team was kind of small. Most of us, myself and others, we didn't come off the field except for kickoff return. Some people didn't even come off for that. Okay, we had a pretty small team. So when you've got a team that small, you don't get cut. People don't cut somebody if they want to play. This is back when they actually cut people, by the way. You know, other schools would cut people if they sucked or just didn't cut it. But they let everybody be on the team. And look, if you're not good enough to get playing time, but you contribute to the team by, practicing and, giving the team a good look as to how the opposing team the next week might be, you're contributing. Even if you don't get a lot of playing time that week, you're contributing. Pudge didn't contribute at all. He was a terrible slob. I mean, he was an embarrassment to humanity as well as an embarrassment to the football team. That was my way of looking at it, and I'm not saying it's right. It was definitely not a Christian way of acting. I was a terrible person back then, and I'm not saying I'm perfect and awesome now, but I definitely had my issues. So I thought, you know what? Oh, by the way, the only reason why he joined the football team was to wear the jersey on Friday. Wearing the jersey at school on Friday was an honor. You were part of the team. Now, we didn't have the best football team. I mean, we had good years and bad years. One year we went 8-3. We only lost 2 in-season games, and we lost the first playoff game. That was kind of our thing. We would do good enough to get the playoffs and lose the first round. And one year we went 1-9. We sucked ass that year. But Pudge, he was such a terrible specimen of a human being, at least in my opinion, that I didn't think he should wear the uniform. He degraded the uniform. That was a terrible attitude of me to have, but that's what I thought. I thought, this guy is disgracing the uniform, and I'm going to make him quit. That was my goal anyways. I'm going to make him quit. So I was a pure asshole to him. I was a prick to this guy. I did all kinds of terrible things to this guy, and No, it was not a good thing. I'm terrible. That was a terrible thing for me to do. Okay, I'm here to admit it. So yeah, I picked on Pudge. Now, I don't remember who gave him that nickname, but everybody knew him as Pudge. I don't think anybody knows his real name. I don't think anybody remembered his real name. The teachers called him Pudge. The principal called him Pudge. The coaches called him Pudge. His dad called him Pudge. His dad would show up at the practices or games or stuff like that, and even his dad called him Pudge. So, some of the ill things I did to him, I would just kick the shit out of him when I saw him. I would, walk up to him at school and just kick him in the leg, or shove him into something, or, I'm thinking, get off the team. And during football practice or whatever, football functions, I was really ill to him. One time, I took his helmet and I threw it in the commode, the toilet. I had to run some hills. Hills were like, we had some steep hill between the football field, the regular field, and the practice field. And I had to run several hills. And this was before I got my driver's license, so my dad was like, what the hell was taking so long? Well, I had to run hills. What'd you run hills for? I threw Pudge's helmet in the commode. Well, was it worth it? I thought it was. I thought it was worth it at the time. I did a lot of ill things to him. We had a football camp where we stayed all week. We slept in the school, so it wasn't like we was camping out. We slept in classrooms at the school, sleeping bags and stuff like that. But the school was being renovated at the time, so there was construction crap laying all over the place. And amongst that stuff was PVC pipe, perfect sword length. And I picked two of them up, and I'd throw one to him, and I was like, come on, Pudge, we're going to sword fight. He'd be like, I don't want to sword fight. I'd slap him in the leg with it. I'd say, well, we're going to sword fight. Defend yourself, or you're going to get the shit beat out of you. And I'd smack him again, and he'd be like, pissed the fuck off, wah, 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 wah. And I'd be like, blocking him and shit because I watch movies or something like that. It's not like I knew how to sword fight, but two unskilled people, it don't take a lot to be a cool looking sword fighter or something like that. And I wound up beating the shit out of him with a PVC pipe. That's just terrible way for me to act. I would see him in the hallway and just kick him in the leg, mess with him, stupid stuff like that. One time, I threw him into the window, and I wasn't expecting this window to break, but I totally broke the window. Like winder, that's some Kentucky folks say winder. I threw him into the window, and the window broke. And he was about to fall through, and I grabbed him and I pulled him through. And it was just about the time a big shattered piece of glass was about to hit him. Now, in his mind, I just saved his life. What? No, I'm the one who threw you into the window. Come on now. No, he thought I saved his life. So I thought, man, I am so fucked. Well, the principal came up and he's like, what the hell happened? Before I could admit that I'm the one who did it, because I'm not going to lie about nothing. Before I could admit that I threw Pudge into the window and it broke, Pudge, he said, some fella with brown hair and a black jacket did it. Well, I wasn't wearing a black jacket, but I did have brown hair. And the principal was like, are you fucking serious? And he didn't say fuck. Are you serious? Like, yeah, some brown-haired kid with a black jacket threw me into the window, and Nick Lewis saved my life. He pulled me through the window just before a shard of glass would stab me in the throat. I don't know if that was really going to happen, but he thought it was. He fucking lied to save my ass. So principal, I mean, at this point, I was so stupefied, I couldn't even discredit him. I couldn't even say, no, that's not what happened. I was just like, what? I'm the guy who threw you into the window, and you're going to lie for me. Well, it was a weird relationship me and him had with each other. I still didn't like him being on a football team. I still thought he disgraced the uniform. He didn't really contribute to the football team at all. You know, when you're practicing and helping the team look better, even if you don't get playing time, you're contributing. He never did, and I hated that shit. But I don't know why, he thought was what he should do is to lie to save my ass. There was another time. It was in the cafeteria, and walked up to him and kicked him in the leg like I always do. And this other guy who wasn't even on the football team, he shoved me and said, "You leave Pudge alone." And I was like, this is none of your damn business. This is football team shit right here. Even though I didn't want him on the team, he was on the fucking team. So this is football team stuff. You need to mind your own damn business. So he shoved me again, and I picked his ass up and threw him in the trash can. What's funny is, years later, my oldest daughter would get an altercation with some boy and threw his ass in the trash can. That's hilarious. So, yeah, I was a prick to Pudge. Pudge, he had the Dunlap disease, where his belly Dunlapped his belt and his belly Dunlapped his crotch. So, I had some moments where I wasn't proud of, and figured I'd just tell shit like it is. By the way, I wasn't the biggest guy in school. There was a couple of guys bigger than me, and I'll tell you a story about one of those two guys sometime in the future.